Now let's move on the tools and deployment side of our project, because great code also needs smooth delivery. So we use Docker to containerize the entire application. With our Docker file and Docker Compose setup, we can package the app, its database and dependencies into an isolated containers. So what's the benefit? It means we can run the system on any machine, whether it's a developer laptop or production server, without worrying about it works on my machine problems. It gives us consistent, repeatable environment every time we deploy. On the build and dependency management side, we have our Maven pom.xml file, and it's the real backbone of the project's build process. Here, what is inside the pom.xml file? So, Spring Boot starters for web, JP and security, PostgreSQL driver for database access, JWT dependencies for secure authentication, Lombok to cut down boilerplate code, Springdog for automatic API documentation with OpenAPI, JUnit 5 plus Mockito for unit testing and mocking, H2 database for fast in-memory testing, JCuckoo plugin for generating test coverage reports. With Maven, all dependencies are pulled in automatically, and thanks to the included plugins, we can run builds, tests and generate reports with a single command, making our build process clean, efficient and fully automated. And now let's switch over to Noyon, who is going to walk you through some hands-on code demos and show how these tools come to life in action. Thank you.
Now, I want to share how I have wired up persistence in my healthcare application using PostgreSQL, JPA entity relationship, and Spring Data repositories, keeping things simple, robust, and ready to scale. First of all, connecting to PostgreSQL in Spring Boot couldn't be easier. In my application.properties, here I can see the application name, then the import file that I have set the credential there, and after that you can see the URL. This URL exactly says where my database lives, and the username and password and is given, and the driver for PostgreSQL. And after that, if any changes that made, then it will be auto update. That's why I have using this statement. And also I have given the security, also I have saved the JWT security key and the expiration times for my authentication, and I have server ports on 80 after that I want to show you the relationship that I have made in the database. So in appointment mapper, if I open, not sorry appointment model, then see there is a many to one relationship here, and the data format I want is in JSON format for specific things. And after that, if I want to show you the repository, you will see that there is an interface called appointment repository that expands appointment repository interface that extends JPA repository appointment comma long. And after in Doctor Repo, we also see I can see that there is an interface called Doctor Repo that extends JPA repository Doctor. And we see that there is a statement that retrieves the data from the database. These statements used for get the information of the top experienced doctor from the database, and likely health profile database. And the patient repository also helps this to save data and the find by phone number, and patient can be find by the phone number and in health profile repo. And the using the patient ID, that patient health profile can be found here. So either this is by this I have maintained and maintained the project and the database. So thank you for listening. The next part will be described by the by sec.
So for version control, we used Git and GitHub. What we used to do is we would create new branches for new feature, and we would constantly work on that feature. And after we are done working on that feature, we would simply create a pull request, and we would review any kind of merge conflicts. And if there is any kind of merge conflicts, we would simply resolve it, working on that conflicts properly. And after we are done with everything, we would finally merge that feature branch with the main branch. And we can see that these are all the branches that we have created in the development process. And for deployment, we containerize the app using Docker. We have also implemented CI/CD pipelines for our project. And finally, we are aiming to build a full front end using React or Angular to complete the system. So yeah, this is all for the deployment and version control. Let's move on to the next section.